What's up guys, David Rodriguez here, and in today's video I'm just going to teach y'all how to do a very basic, straight up and down, two-handed, regular handstand tutorial. Now, really, in my opinion, you only need 4 different exercises to actually understand how to do a handstand. It took me a long time for me to actually be able to hold mine for a somewhat decent amount of time, for like 10 plus seconds. Because I tried every other way. I tried everybody's go from crow stand and then learn from bent arm crow stand to straight arm crow stand, and I tried doing the whole kicking up and like trying to hold and find and kicking up and over and just losing my balance every single time. I tried all these different exercises and none of them ever really got me. I mean, it eventually got me to a handstand, but I think you could definitely cut out all the fluff and condense it down to 4 exercises, which I will explain to y'all. And I hope that if you've been struggling with the handstand, if you've been trying all the different fluff and all the different like apparent requirements that you need for a handstand, that hopefully that these 3 to 4 exercises will all of a sudden clear everything up for y'all. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so the first exercise that I got going on for y'all today is going to be the pike push-up. This is going to be your most simple exercise, but it'll have the most variation, and you can easily scale it to be harder or easier. So we don't want to bend our knees. We're going to end up taking away from the exercise if we bend our knees too much. Same thing if you flare your elbows out. You're going to put a lot of stress, unnecessary stress on the shoulders. Instead, think about pulling your shoulders behind you. Alright, gently lowering your head to the ground, keeping everything braced, nice, locked in tight. Now, if you want to make this harder on the ground, you just walk your feet up. If you want to make it easier for you, you would just walk your feet away from you. Alright, and now we're going to actually make this a little bit harder by using some parallettes in this next section that I'm about to show y'all. Now for this, I recommend investing in a pair of parallettes. You can either make them yourself or buy them off Amazon. But the reason that we want to use parallettes is because it actually gives us enough depth that we can push our shoulders through. It's like a human body weight military press, so to speak. And because it allows you to move your hands or move your feet up higher and higher, and you can keep pulling your head through, all right, and put a little bit more intensity on those shoulders. Okay, and then eventually you'll be able to walk yourself all the way up the wall, and then you can come down through just like a normal handstand push-up. Now the second exercise is practicing a handstand up against the wall, but what I don't want you to do is to try and kick up with you facing towards the wall. You're just going to end up wasting your time. Instead, walk your feet up the wall with your chest facing in towards the wall, if that makes sense. The reason being is because it helps you start to learn how to effectively stack your joints. It forces you into a straight line as you get closer and closer to the wall. Whereas if you start kicking, even if you do hold a handstand, you start teaching yourself bad habits and probably end up with more of a banana-like handstand, which is what we don't want. Now I'm going to replay this video again because I want to pay special attention to the way that I stack my joints on top of each other. You're going to see that I'm going to try and almost, it's like bringing my pelvis in towards the wall and bringing my chest also, like we're squeezing them together at the same time, alright, to try and achieve that nice straight line. Now from here, right, again, squeeze everything as tight as possible. It's going to make everything so much easier, and you don't have to do this wall kick thing that I'm doing. You can do that once you feel like, hey, I actually kind of understand how to do a handstand, and then you can start kicking off away from the wall. Now, this exercise, the third and final exercise, is all dependent upon whether you tip forwards or you tip backwards in your handstand. If you're like me, and no matter how I used to be, when I kicked up into my handstand, I would always tip and fall over the top of my heels this exercise is going to be very beneficial for you. It's what helped fix my handstand. Now we can start kicking, right? And so typically what ends up happening when people do this is they end up creating a banana with their bodies when they first started doing this, and that's what leads to the tipping over in the handstand. So what we're going to do instead is that when you kick up, right, you're going to do exactly what you've been seeing me do for the past couple seconds, where I slowly walk or bring one foot off the wall, and then I try to get the other one to meet it, and I'm going to try and emphasize squeezing my stomach as hard as I can, pulling those abs in towards me. So we're going to look at this exercise again, right? As you kick up, go ahead and make that banana with your body. But now you're going to try and pull your lower abs in towards you as tight as you can to make that nice straight line. Again, you can pick one foot. It seems that my right foot is a little bit better equipped for this exercise. I try to switch between the two. But again, make sure that when you slowly lift one foot, bring it to the other one and try and hold that nice straight line. Alright guys, this exercise is the exact opposite of the one that I did before. So now you're going to walk your feet up the wall again. Now with this one, because if you tip towards your toes, you're going to want to do this exercise. Alright, so from here, you're going to lift one leg off the wall and try and use those lower back muscles and that butt and that hamstring to get yourself away from the wall. Alright, keep everything nice and tight and straight. Okay, you're going to end up finding out that one exercise is probably much easier for you than the other one. You want to practice the harder exercise. Okay, so again, right, relax those abs. Don't squeeze down so much, okay? Don't pike over so much. And so let's take a look at that exercise again. So I'm going to relax, right? So instead of being so tight in my lower abdominals, I'm going to try to relax those abs a little bit, and instead of piking so hard, I'm going to try and open up a little bit more, right? You're going to want to try and think about squeezing those, again, like those hamstrings and that lower back to really achieve that nice straight up and down body position. And again, one exercise will be much harder than the other one. Practice the harder exercise. And so now I'm going to go over just some tips and some tricks by making a fool of myself in these next couple things where I do my actual handstand. A big tip that's really going to help you achieve that handstand and really helped me is tiger clawing your hands. Now, what I mean by that is that you are literally trying to like rip the ground out like a tiger would. Now, obviously you see here because hopefully you can see it because the ground is sloped. My natural penchant for tipping over my heels really takes precedence here. And now even you can see that I don't have like a perfect handstand by any means. I still have a little bit of banana shape. My head is sticking out, but again, I'm happy with where it's at as it is right now. And make sure that you're squeezing and keeping everything over the top, especially with those forearm muscles. And now from the other way, which was a lot easier for me to do my handstand this way. So again, push into the ground with those hands, right? Tiger claw. You should see the tips of your fingers turn white with how hard you're trying to control yourself, right? So do you see here how I almost have like a 45 degree, 90 degree angle in my fingertips? That's because I'm pushing and trying to claw the ground so hard and keeping everything nice and tight, all right? So take those tips. Hopefully y'all learned something, and I will see y'all in the next video.